All right. Hey, guys. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. And thank you for joining us. It is the 19th Sunday, and we're fired up. We got a great thing happening right now with LifeVantage, and this is the Team Unite Ignite call. We do this every Sunday for our teams around the world. And so if you miss this, we are obviously recording, so you're probably listening to the playback if you missed it earlier. Because I know a lot of people are with their dads right now, and I just want to let you guys know, days like today are just kind of a reminder of why, myself personally, as part of my why and why I'm doing LifeVantage, is that I can build and get time back to spend with my little ones and my family, and travel and do some great things with them, and set a great example for them to not be a slave wage or slave to the wage. And for me, that hits home. And so I just want to say Happy Father's Day to everyone out there, and everyone that couldn't be with their dad or their grandfathers that are waiting for them in the next life. We can take say a blessing for them. And I want to let you guys know this is gonna be kind of a shorter call. We've got a birthday party. This is bumping right into for my 6-year-old. So we're doing a little multitasking and getting ready for that and stuff. So just a couple reminders. Then I want to introduce our special guest. We've got a Lead Academy coming up. I know we keep talking about this, but it's important. It's going to be our biggest event yet out in Anaheim, California. There's probably going to be 7,000 to 8,000 people out there. And it's going to be our biggest event yet. And it's probably also going to be our smallest event going forward because of the growth that we're happening. I know just last week we had our first United Kingdom leadership event, which was awesome. We had a handful of people on our team that made it. There was a couple hundred people there. So think about that, guys. Think about the perspective of where you're at and the timing with this. It's incredible. So what I'm going to do is I want to invite our guest on. We have Billy Brooker out of Atlanta, Georgia, right next door. I'm out of South Carolina, and love this guy. Love him and his brother Chance. Just great people. And it was funny. I was talking with Lindsay, and we were trying to think, just guess Billy's age, because the dude, he must have been taking Protandim and using True Science when he was like 12 years old, because the dude does not look a year over, I don't know, I'd guess 32, but apparently I was maybe 10 years off or so.
Awesome.
So anyway, you're looking good, Billy. Besides that, he's also a Pro 8 in our company, which is phenomenal. Has his own LifeVantage Jeep. LifeVantage gives away Jeeps if you hit a certain rate and maintain it, and that's free and clear. And so it's pretty cool seeing that and seeing the success that you guys have had out there in Atlanta and doing some great things. And we work cross-line in this company, and Billy's not on our upline direct, in our company, in our team, but we all work together in this thing. That's a beautiful part of this business, specifically with LifeVantage. And I just want to thank you, Billy, for hopping on. And if you don't mind, if you want to just share, your story with us, and why you're excited about LifeVantage, and just maybe some tips that have kind of helped you that might be able to inspire a few people for some training.
Absolutely. And thanks for having me on the call. And I just have to go on record. You're not quite 10 years off, because I'm still in my 30s for about 2 more months. I'm still in my 30s. But no, I appreciate that. It's funny too, because all of our lives, people, there's 9 years difference between Chance and I. And 90% of the time when people are trying to figure out which one of the two of us is older, they always guess Chance. So I guess I'm doing something right in that regard. But again, Justin, thank you guys so much for asking me to be on the call. We certainly love you guys too. It's always a blast seeing you guys at the events and working together and things like that. Lindsay actually had asked me to share a couple of things, and one of them goes back to a little bit about our story. So I'll just kind of start off with that, and especially for the benefit of maybe some of our people internationally that probably haven't heard our story as much. I think it's something that is encouraging for a lot of people in the company. So just to kind of go back to the beginning of it, our father, Bill Brooker, was introduced to LifeVantage back in early 2011. So, not too far outside of when the company went into network marketing. And he very quickly, I mean, really immediately saw the potential here. And our father, Bill, was an entrepreneur, 5 different companies that I can count, that I can remember, that he started in my lifetime. One company took a patented technology to market. Another company tried to take a different patented technology to market. They didn't quite succeed with that one. But that's the kind of thing that my dad did. He started businesses. He started companies. And along the way, though, he liked to look at network marketing. It was kind of a hobby for him. And I really got turned off to it early on. So in 2011, when I heard from my mom that dad had gotten involved in another network marketing company, I was really irritated. I mean, to the point of, I'll never forget conversations I had with mom on the phone saying I was going to disown my father if he pitched me on this business. Now, there was some background to that. It wasn't, I wasn't that volatile, but there was some, life happens, right? Things going on. My mom, was, she had been battling breast cancer for many, many years, successfully most of that time, but it looked like some stuff was starting to happen there, not so great. And that second business of my dad that had a patented technology, the one that they didn't get to market, that had zapped him of everything. He lost a $750,000 home. He was renting a home from some friends of mine that were getting ready to sell their home. So dad and mom were getting ready to move into my house with me and my kids and my wife. So the idea of him messing around with another network marketing company for me did not sit very well. But mom said something that was one of the first things that kind of started to change our life. And she said, and mom hated network marketing more than I did. She said, Billy, I think this one's different. I think this might be worth your dad's time. That got my attention. And that was because she had seen the ABC video. So I watched the ABC video and I quickly saw something pretty unique. So I kind of went into an observation mode, and I did that for about 6 months. Dad moved in, mom moved in. Dad put about 6 months of really hard work into this business, found some incredible leaders, got to about the rank of Pro 5. And then it became apparent that mom didn't have much time left. And the real thing that changed my perspective and Chance's perspective was that at that time, dad put everything down. He stopped working LifeVantage. He didn't quit LifeVantage, but he stopped working it. He wasn't doing calls. He wasn't going to events. He wasn't doing meetings. But he got that residual check every month. And during those 3 months, every month the check came in, it got bigger than the month before. And for me, that's what opened my eyes to kind of what you said, Justin, getting that time back with my family. Because I came out of corporate America. I was in Sprint in a job that I had great benefits. I had 5 weeks vacation paid a year, but I didn't have the money to enjoy it with my family. I was barely paying my bills. So I had a decent amount of time, but I didn't, forget about taking nice trips or doing fun things. I was trying to figure out how to put shoes on my kids. But seeing my father finally, for the first time in his life, have not only time freedom, but financial freedom with it, that changed my perspective. So my brother and I, Chance and we got started in 2012, shortly after we, buried mom, and we never looked back. And one of the things that Lindsay wanted me to mention, I'll kind of lead into, and it goes into our story because it's a testament to the integrity of LifeVantage. So when we got started in this business, my brother and I, we decided that we needed to really stack everybody. So dad enrolled Chance. Chance enrolled me, and we all worked in a line like that. Just because of the way our life has worked out, our warm market list between the three of us was very, very mutual. In fact, one of our first leaders was somebody that we all three knew. So there was no real way to, that was the only thing that made sense to us, was to work it in a line so that everybody could benefit from all these mutual people that we knew and that we were going to be, trying to build a business with. And that went really well. In our first year in the business, Chance got almost to Pro 6. I got almost to Pro 4 in our first 12 months. So we were doing really well. And the other legs that we were all building together took dad's distributorship up from Pro 5 and started pushing him on on up to Elite. So everything was going well. We were building our businesses. We were working. Chance and I were getting close to the point of quitting our day jobs. And in fact, we did that in 2014. Me at the beginning of 2014, Chance towards the end of 2013. And then May of 2014, Dad passed away very unexpectedly. So where I'm leading with that, not to tell you guys a sob story, but it's really an amazing story when you hear the end of it, is what the company did. And that was they worked with us to acquire Dad's distributorship. And there was a lot more to that. If you look at the distributor agreement, and of course, most of us have heard the story that this is a business that is transferable. This is a business that's willable. But to our knowledge, Bill, my dad, was the first Elite distributor, the first, I guess, recognizable name within the company where this took place. So there was some visibility behind it. And my dad had not done the things that he needed to do according to the distributor agreement for us to take over the distributorship. We had a death certificate, but we didn't have a will. We didn't have any of those things that you're supposed to have. But the company worked with us. It took a little longer than it should usually take, but we had to do a lot of stuff on our side of things to legally show that despite not having a will, we were the only ones to take over the business. But they worked with us, on up to Eric Merchant, the top legal guy in the company, and they helped us put it together. And that was a big moment for us and a big moment for a lot of people, because again, it really was, from a perspective of visibility, the first time where the company could look and say, yeah, when the company says this thing can be passed down to your families, willable, they mean it. And they don't make you jump through hoops, and they don't try to just push the money up line or something like that. They stick to their words. So it's been an interesting journey for us. And that's a part of the story that, it doesn't come up a lot when I'm talking to prospects, but when we're talking to other distributors, we like to share it because, again, it's just one more thing that builds our faith in this company and demonstrates that this company is for real. Because that doesn't happen in every network marketing company. But, even here, the company could have, they could have said, well, you guys don't have a will, so, there's nothing we can do. But it's really a company of integrity. And that goes back to a part of the why. It's not just about the time freedom that I get to have and enjoy with my family as a Pro 8, but it's about what I'm building, what I could leave to my wife and kids should something unexpected happen to me. Or, better scenario is I live to a nice ripe old age and have something to pass on to my kids, a legacy. And that's what our father wanted. He always was looking for a legacy. That's why he built businesses. He wanted something to hand to us, and this fulfilled that for him. So that's a big reason, Justin. That's a big reason about the why LifeVantage, is just because the integrity is there. And through our journey, I've seen enough to know that come hell or high water, this company, the leadership of this company, the distributor leadership of this company, they're in it for the right reasons. They're looking out for us, for the distributors, and they stick to their words. So that's kind of my story. And again, it leads into a piece that's good for other distributors to know when you're looking for more things that can build your faith in this company. I hope that part of the story does. So I'm trying to stick to my time, and I've got like 4.5 minutes left. The other thing, Justin, that Lindsay asked me to talk about was persistence. So I'll just share a couple things about persistence. And I don't want this to come across the wrong way, and I think you guys will get my point, but I'm going to give you guys some example of where persistence has really had to play into our business. But stick with me here, because I think you'll get the point, and this isn't a negative thing. This is actually a very positive thing. But let me give you guys some examples. So, one of the first examples that comes to mind is when Dad passed away, there were some distributors that had come in strictly through Dad. Most of our organization had come kind of mutually through all of us, so everybody knew everybody. We all worked together. But there were a couple of groups that had come strictly through Dad and didn't really know Chance and I that well. And sad to say, some of those groups weren't okay with Chance and I stepping into their leadership role. They weren't okay with losing Bill as their mentor and going to work with us in terms of doing three-way calls and doing presentations and things like that. Another example is the Philippines. That was a country where one of our leaders actually moved to, and for a while we had a massive amount of volume out of there. The Philippines, I still believe in the market. We've still got a leader over there, but it didn't work out as well as we had hoped for. So persistence has been a big part of Chance and I, our journey with LifeVantage, because things happen, life happens. Sometimes, you've seen it in the company where maybe a leader up and joins a different company. That happens in life, or somebody passes away, or something happens, or things like that happen. But the good news is, and the reason I'm sharing the story that way, is because at the end of the day, I can tell you it's so worth it. The persistence is so worth it. What you can get out of LifeVantage for your family and for yourself, and for the ones that are on your team that you love and that you're helping along this journey, it's so absolutely worth it. And the good news is that every single time one of those situations has come up in our distributorship where Chance and I have had to be persistent, where things weren't going smoothly or weren't easy. People didn't want us to be, maybe their mentor or upline in the absence of my father. Those type of things that happen to every distributor in this business, I can look back on every time and say the persistence was worth it. It's never been something where I said, well, that wasn't worth it. We should have just let things go the way they should go. So guys, I don't know if that's exactly what Lindsay had in mind, but she wanted me to talk about persistence. And again, I can just tell you that because of the kind of company this is, because of the kind of products we have, because of the kind of leadership we have, because of the kind of timing that we have, be persistent, because you are going to face bumps in the road. There's no doubt about that. Every Pro 10 I've talked to, every Pro 9, every Pro 1 I've talked to, you're going to face bumps in the road. And sometimes those might look insurmountable. Sometimes those might be something that you don't feel like it's worth it to push through. But guys, I can absolutely promise that if you are persistent, it's worth it. I think we've heard some of the leaders say that the only way to lose with LifeVantage is to quit. And I really believe that's the case. Some journeys might take longer than others. Some journeys might be easier than others. But this is a place where your persistence, it's gonna pay off. Even with building your business, and I'll wrap it up with this. The last couple of distributors that Chance and I have put in the business, and we've got a couple more that are very close to signing up, are relationships that we've been working on for close to a year now. So that's another thing as well. Don't just think that if somebody doesn't join your business right away, or somebody that you're just getting to know, don't think that just because they don't get involved right away, they're a lost cause. The persistent pays off. It pays off there as well. And we're starting to see that most of the people we put into business now are people that we have been persistent with over a considerable amount of time. And it's absolutely worth it. So I hope that's, from the perspective of where we are in the company, I guess what I'm trying to say is it's not always easy, but my God, is it worth it? Be persistent. Don't let anything get in your way, because I've never seen anything that can give you and your families what LifeVantage has given my family, and it's so worth it. So, Justin, I think those are kind of the two things that Lindsay wanted me to cover, and I hope I did an okay job.
Yeah, Billy, thank you so much, my friend. Thank you for sharing with us. And we didn't plan it this way by any means. But I think it's an interesting coincidence that you're our guest today, and it's on Father's Day. And I just commend you and really appreciate what your dad has done for this company. And I think he probably had a little bit to do with that in terms of keeping that message going forward with you sharing today, because there's going to be a lot of people who listen to the playback and get to hear his story. Some new people that are hopping into this company and don't realize how persistent the leaders have been. Us going out into the woods and chopping down trees and now laying a concrete road that we can just offer the keys to people that are looking at this company now and say, here's the keys. We've done the hard work. We've been persistent. We've fought these battles. You get to get in and drive. But like you said, just like any business, there's going to be ups and downs. And what I see those speed bumps are opportunities for learning and growth. And you're right on. You got to stick through and really see this thing to the end. So I just really appreciate you sharing with us. And I've got a quick question, if you don't mind. If you were, especially since
Absolutely.
you've seen this thing, through your dad's eyes when he first, came on board when we were launching this thing in the United States, and now here we are, 6 going on a little bit longer, 6 years later, we've grown from barely a company to doing $3 million a year to, $250 million. We've got a ton of growth happening right now. But, what would you say for somebody kind of looking at this thing, from they're just looking at getting started? What do you see just in terms of the overall where we're at as a company and where we're headed? Would you mind sharing your insight there?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what I believe I see is that we're still a company that is built foundationally on Pro Tandem. That ABC video, which is old and antiquated and grainy and all that kind of stuff, it's still what I use to build my business, because I wouldn't be in this business if it wasn't for that ABC video. So I think foundationally, I think that we're still a company that is built on that. But what I see that's different now from, when I got started with the company 5 years ago, is that we've gone from a company that had this amazing thing and really didn't know what to do with it, right? I mean, back in those days, the company leadership wasn't at a corporate level. They weren't people with network marketing experience, and even a lot of the Pro 10s were first timers in the industry. So what's different today is that we not only have that piece of magic in Pro Tandem and what it is, but we've leveraged it to go into other countries, to launch other products that are, just as amazing. Look at Nerf 1 that's just coming out. We've leveraged those things to where now we're probably in a better position than we were back in those early days. Yeah, there's more distributors, but there's still only about 70,000 distributors in the world, which is, barely even on the radar for a network marketing company. So for somebody that was looking, I would say, look at what happened to the company in the first couple of years. Do your homework. Look at the history. Look at, like you said, Justin, the company going from 3 million to into the hundreds of millions in the first couple of 2-3 years. Look at what happened back then and realize that all of that happened for the most part with one product and not a lot of network marketing experience, except for a few key people, both on the corporate and the distributor side. And now you fast forward to today, and we've taken and put so much more on top of it. What do you think the company's second big wave is going to look like? All companies go through waves. We went through our first wave, and we're really just starting to hit the second wave. If we did what we did back in 2011, 12, 13, what is 15, 16, 17 going to look like with all the tools that we got at our disposal now? So I think that's how I would say to look at it for new people, and it paints a great picture, because I know that the second wave is going to blow the first one away, and we're just starting to see it.
Right on, man. It's wave 2. Here we go. And what's incredible, guys, is that Billy's an elite distributor. So what that means is he taps into a percentage of every product sold in the entire world. Okay. And here's what's really powerful about that is all the work that's been done for the last, 6 years in this company. When you get to those elite ranks, which is rank 7, which you're going to get there a lot faster with the foundation that we have in place now. Anybody that's listening to this, whether you're brand new, you've been involved for a few years, you get to tap into all of the work that's been done up to this point. The foundation has been laid, and you get an opportunity to tap into it. That any bottle of Protan that's sold in the entire world, you get to have a part in that. That's what I call a founder's bonus, and it's pretty awesome thing that we're involved with. And the future has never looked brighter here. And I'm excited, and I'm just glad that you guys could all join us today, whether you're listening in live. Thank you for making some time on this beautiful Sunday, and spend some time with your family, and use this as an opportunity to just kind of refocus on what your goals are for the week. Come up with a game plan. Let us know how we can help you with your business. And again, Billy, I want to just thank you for taking some time out of your day, sharing your story. It's powerful, and I know a lot of other people need to hear this. So guys, share this with your team, share this with anybody that needs to hear it, and just wish you all the best of the next week, and God bless. Thank you all for hopping on. Billy, thanks again, buddy.
Thank you, Justin. See you guys in Anaheim.
Yeah, we'll see you there, bro.
Bye.
Bye-bye.